Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashmiel, Shine Bashima Rakak Radash, and double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone that have taught me what I know, including the bishops on down, and Yahweh Bashmiel Shai Brakatham to the elect, whom is 144,000, and as well as the 1/3, and also including to those that do follow, whom is the 1/3. All right, if I didn't say. So it's your brother Laban. I'm back at you again. Now I'm going to just chime in and speaking about this over here. First of all, let's read what it says in the article, and then we're going to move forward in the scriptures. Iran has vowed to avenge the killing of Hamas political leader Ismail Hananiah, who died in an overnight airstrike in Tehran, according to Iranian media. Both Hamas and Iran blames Israel for the strike, which targeted Hananiah's residence while he was visiting Iran to attend the inauguration of President Masoud Pezeshkian, if I pronounced that correctly. The killing just hours of an Israeli strike on his Hezbollah commander in Lebanon has heightened fears of even wider conflict in the Middle East. RT reports senior Hamas official Sami Abu Zidi accused Israel of assassination and called it a grave escalation in the comment to Reuters, and Israel is yet on comment on the killing. So, once again, this is just the power of the East right along with the West stirring up things among these nations, because ultimately they want a war, and a war they're going to get. And when they get this war, they're not going to be able to control this war. Neither are they going to win this war. No nation is going to win this war. All right? And this is something that the Lord is setting up and preparing. So what I want to do is I want to back up a little bit, and we're going to go read the book of Joel 3 and verse 12. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Now the word Jehoshaphat is Yahweh Shaphat, which means the Most High's judgment. And as well as it reads, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And the ultimate reason why there's going to be a third war, which is coming, because it's to do with the fact that they've afflicted our people, these nations. So the Lord is going to pay them back by involving them in the ultimate meat grinder. And none of these nations, again, are going to win. They're all going to be destroyed, and their kingdoms are going to be destroyed. And so that, therefore, they're going to go right into slavery afterwards. All right? When we're in them ships, there's going to be that battle being fought and everything else. There's going to be them nukes hitting ground zero. We're going to be living in them ships, and we're going to come back down from them ships after the dust is cleared and settled, and we're going to round these nations up to enslave them. All right. So this is why things are being done to have the heathen stirred up. As we look up the word awaken, which is war or R, something like that. Anyway, let me see. Yeah, R, which means to rouse oneself awake, incite, to rouse one up, to be roused, to stir up, rouse, incite, to be excited, be triumph. Yeah, so that's just the thing. These nations are being stirred up because, again, things are being had to stir them up in the first place. And it's usually the West is poking the bear, and as well as the power in the East, who is Israel today. And they also want to war the same way because they want to maintain their power in the East. All right. So what Benjamin Netanyahu's doing, he's just throwing his weight around in the East, and is causing a lot of problems. And America's going to have to eventually get involved if Israel is afflicted in some kind of way due to the wrong moves that they're making, to allowing themselves to get messed up. Then that's going to pave the way for the least of the flock to be drawn out. All right, that's going to pave the way for the least of the flock to draw out America into this thing, and the next thing you know, Russia's gonna get involved, and then you have the full-fledged Third World War, as the world will call it, but we would say the Third World, because that's what it is officially. According to Revelations, you have Revelations, the 11th chapter, where it mentions that as John the Revelator saw, he mentioned that there was going to be 3 woes, and the woes represent the world wars that was had, and we're in the 3rd woe. All right, so let me just read a scripture there, just to bring that out. Yeah, Revelations 11:14. The 2nd woe was past, and behold, the 3rd woe cometh quickly. And the 3rd woe came thereafter the 2nd World War, because what you had was you had the beginning of the Truman Doctrine, and then after the Truman Doctrine had came, because you had Americans that believed under the Truman Doctrine, which was a form of democracy, they could then rise up against those, or that they were commanded, or or ordered to go against those in the in Eastern Europe, which was representing communism at the time, and after that you had which was called the Cold War, which came thereafter. So that is the definition of the 3rd woe coming quickly, right after the 2nd woe was passed. Just to basically put it, And ever since the Cold War, which really was the spawning of the 3rd woe, ever since from that time we've been in the 3rd woe, building up to it. And eventually the missiles are going to stop flying. Something will be had, and the missiles are going to stop flying. And them nations are going to be destroyed, which is what the Lord is setting up for the destruction of this empire overall, of the heathen. So yeah, as this reads, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get ye down, for the press is full, and the fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. In other words, it's going to be a time for the Lord to exact that judgment, and it's going to be through the great fire, or fires, should I say. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. And we know that the day of the Lord is not a day of lightness and goodness as of yet, but is a day of darkness and gloominess. And so, which shall be in this generation, because the days are evil, and the Lord has to repay the people for their sins and their evil and wicked ways overall. And then after that's all said and done, then peace will be brought. All right? That's the ultimate thing. Yes, the Lord is going to bring destruction, and we say these things, but ultimately the end result is going to be peace. All right? And then the earth can finally be under the vibration which it was made to be, in righteousness. But the Lord is going to have to repay all of the wrongs that was done. And this is where the 3rd woe comes in, to balance the scale of things. So now let's read Jeremiah 49 and verse 20. And therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, and surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs. So this is basically telling you that in the midst of this war, in the midst of the fall of America, the destruction which will take place concerning this war, which is the 3rd woe, in that the Lord is going to make his appearance. That's why it reads, behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Basra. Now, modern Basra in this case is referring to America, which is also known as Babylon the Great, which is also known as Egypt again, which is also known as Nineveh, and all of these empires. So this is the place that the Lord is going to visit, and so that the sinners of the Lord's people can be destroyed, and as well as for those that have endured with the truth, so that they can be delivered. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs, right? Because they're going to see who the real power is. As it is written that the powers on earth shall be shaken. So this is the purpose of the Lord, is to get these nations into a war that they cannot escape. Primarily those that want this war, get them into it so that they can be destroyed. So they're going to get what they want, but they're not going to get what they expect at all. And this is what the prophets of the Lord see. We see what's happening. All right. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord, power Yahweh, concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. And her is referring to O daughter of Babylon, which is America once again. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen, which means to be insignificant, and thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, and thou that dwelleth in the cluster of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground, right? And though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down. So America's been ruling over the people with great pride and acting as though they were the hammer of the whole earth. And this is why these nations are beginning to be awakened, according to the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter. And now they're looking at America as the enemy. Right now you have the Russians that want to just do business, and the Chinese. And while they're doing all of that, America's causing controversy and provoking these nations for war, or to war. Okay. So now these nations are looking at America as the enemy. So what's going to come out of this? America is going to get what's coming to it, as we've been prophesying about for years, beginning with our heads all the way down to the brethren of the great millstone. It's all happening right before our eyes. There's a lot of things going on, even down there in the UK. There's people out there protesting because 3 girls were stood at by some Kenyan guy, which is who they say is a Muslim or whatever. And Esau's tactics, man. Esau wants to incite a riot for the sake of their new world order. And that's how I see that, of course. Because the important motto of the 33rd degree is Ordo ab Chaos, which stands for order out of chaos. All right. And what is the order they want to establish? That new world order, which shows that they are the wicked, bringing in the days of evil. And in those days is where the remnant will be delivered, and the evil man will be taken by his own evil. As it is also written that in the book of Galatians 6:7, that for God is not mocked, for whatever man soweth, that shall he also reap. So whatever energy that Esau's putting out there, he's going to get it back 100-fold, or however much fold. However much fold, he gets it back. He's going to get it back. And when he gets it, he ain't coming out of that. So with that, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Arakak, Wadash. And with that, I am out. Shalom.